Hello, and welcome to today's discussion with two incredible people, Fadia Loubani and Leila Awadallah. I'm Lena Barqawi, and I'm the Executive and Artistic Director of Mizna. I'm happy to introduce our guests today and to tell you a little bit about Mizna and the Arab Film Festival. For those of you who are unfamiliar with our work, we are an Arab and Southwest Asian and North African arts organization based in Minnesota in the United States. And we do this work on the ancestral land of the Dakota and Ojibwe. And we acknowledge that our practices participate in the settler colonial project that is the United States. On this land, we produce the Arab Film Festival, as well as a monthly film series and a literary and visual art journal centering the work of SWANA artists. I use this acronym SWANA, which means Southwest Asia and North Africa. At Mizna, we like to use this term as a way to draw out the complexity of the regions whose artists we represent. And we also do this as an intentional attempt to decolonize our spaces, refusing the colonial term, the Middle East. I use this as an example to situate the work of Mizna and to give you some insights into the kinds of questions that we grapple with through art, literature, and film. To learn more about our work, please visit mizna.org. At this year's Twin Cities Arab Film Festival, we are screening the documentary feature film Fadia's Tree, directed by Sarah Beddington. And we're honored to share this film with our audiences and to host the subject of this film, Fadia Loubani, in this virtual discussion today. This year's festival examines the theme of diaspora for Arab and Swana people. And Fadia's Tree reinterprets the concept of exile and the right to return home through a story of friendship, loss, and displacement. It weaves together the homing instinct of migratory birds as they travel through the Eastern Mediterranean with an intimate portrait of Fadia, born into a Palestinian refugee camp in Lebanon. I'm honored to introduce our guests who will delve into Fadia's story and the film. Leila Awadallah joins us from Minneapolis, and she's a Palestinian-American dancer, choreographer, and film wanderer based between Minneapolis and Beirut. She's the founder of the Badi Watani Dance Project in collaboration with Noel Awadallah. Leila is a McKnight Dancer Fellow, a Jerome Hill Fellow, and previously a Springboard 2020 and Daring Dances Fellow. Her work has been supported through research residencies and performances at the Hamana Artist House, Amalgam, Lebanese National Theater, Camargo Foundation, and the Arab American National Museum, and most widely across spaces and places in and around her home in the Twin Cities. She's a collaborator of the Theater of the Women of the Camp in Burj Al Barajna, where Fadia's work is also centered. Leila is an incredible artist, and I'm so happy to have you with us. Fadia Loubani joins us from Lebanon, where she's in a neighbor's house because the internet at her house is quite bad, as I understand. So I'm glad that you're with us, and I hope that we can get through this conversation with few technical problems. As I mentioned, she's the subject of the film Fadia's Tree. Fadia's grandparents fled from historic Palestine in 1948 after the two massacres in their village Sasa, which is now a kibbutz in northern Israel. Fadia was born in 1968 in Burj Al Barajna refugee camp in Beirut, Lebanon. Fadia's husband was killed in the Lebanese Civil War, and Fadia raised her children in Beirut while establishing the first kindergarten inside the camp. Despite multiple bombings and wars during the following years, Fadia worked tirelessly to develop the school, which has been a haven for scores of refugee children. As head teacher of the kindergarten, she has worked to protect the school grounds from development pressures of an overcrowded camp. She also has created a public library and adult learning center at the school. And in addition to all of that, she's a writer, having written a number of darkly comic plays about life in the camp, which have been staged by the women of the camp theater company that she created with a group of like-minded women in the community. Last year, they toured around Denmark to much acclaim, and this year, some of Fadia's short stories have been published in an anthology of female writers. Her tireless and incredible work have been honored, rightly so, with awards from local and international organizations. Fadia, Allah ya'tik al-afiyah, an incredible work.
Shukran, shukran. Allah ya'afiki, shukran.
We are screening Fadia's Tree. I wanted to say one last thing, that we're screening Fadia's Tree in honor of the memory of Shireen Abu Akleh. And this free screening at our film festival is made possible by the estate of Dr. Inam Matar, with special thanks to Dr. Nabil Matar. With that, I'll turn the conversation over to Leila and Fadia, and enjoy this conversation, audiences.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lana. Hi, Fadia.
Hi, Leila. Hi, Leila.
Well, I'm so excited that we get to talk about this film. I've been wanting to see it since the moment you told me about it, and I finally got to watch it. So I have so many questions and so many feelings. But I wanted to start by saying a little bit about my journey to meeting you. And I think it's interesting because Mizna, this organization, is also a part of that journey. I moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota 10 years ago. And at that time, I had not had much experience with having a Palestinian community or Arab community around me. I visited my family once in Jordan, but I didn't really know what it felt like to be held in a Palestinian community. And when I moved here and I found the film festival, I started to see films, and every year I'd go to every single film, and I was like, wow, like it's beautiful what people have to say about Palestine and other countries, and the language and the music. So that's when I decided, I have to study Arabic. I have to go live over there for a while and connect with other Palestinians. I went to Beirut. I started studying at the university. I ended up in a dance festival meeting Sophie Barclay, who told me about this theater of Palestinian women. And I come to meet you, and it all feels like a connected journey of how I end up sitting here in this gifted thobe that you gave me last year when I performed. And so I'm just so thankful that Mizna brought me eventually to you. So it's so good to know you, to be your friend. And
yes, and really, I like your dance. Also, when you dance with the children and with the woman in the camp, you let us make the freedom in the movement, and you see how is the girls, you feel that they are fly.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Maybe this is the relation between us, how is it's so deep, and really because you are traveling and we cannot travel, you give this the feeling of traveling during your dance with the children and with the woman.
Oh, that makes me so happy, because I feel like even with this film too, like when you cannot travel, what makes you feel like you're traveling? How do our friendships and our relationships, when we care about one another, allow us to move beyond our body or circumstances in some ways? And even you say that so beautifully in the film when you're going with Sarah. I was thinking about how when Sarah was filming, it felt like I was seeing your eyes seeing. Like I never thought it was her camera. I thought it was your eyes the whole film. And I knew you were on the phone with Sarah, but it was like your eyes I saw. So I was gonna ask you, what did you feel when you saw this footage, when you saw the road on the way to Sasa, when you saw the tree, when you saw even yourself across time changing, you know, how did you feel?
You know, many feelings, complex feelings, you know. Yani, one feeling as a friendship, I feel that Sarah was my bird to my tree. When I see the road to Sasa, it is yani, feeling with memories, you know. Yani, it's take me for memories. How is my family, my grandfather, how is the living, how is the suffering, how is, it was so hard. But in the same time, I feeling the hope. I feel that my tree is so close to me. It's not like from the past. No, it is still protect the place, the birds coming to it. You feel that my house is still, and the roots, yani, and the area she took it. Yani, I feel that it's my area, my roots, my branches. Yani, it's so close to me now. It's yani, yani, the return is so close to me.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite things in the film was also hearing like we talk a lot about the memories of people and, you know, like how we remember and pass down memories, but you also remind us that the trees have memories. The soil, when you went to Jnub in the south and you were like, I just need to go, you know, touch the soil. I feel the air from Palestine, you know, so I loved the way you spoke about the non-human living beings that remember, especially the tree, of course. And it reminds me of many indigenous people in this land, the United States or Turtle Island, talk about the memory of the land and the non-human living beings. And so it just, to me, made me think a lot about indigenous people will always be able to speak to the memories of trees and soil and to listen and to hear. So I wanted to ask you about that, about what it feels like to listen and know.
You know, yani, when you are living as a refugees, all the time you haven't, this is the feeling that you are legs on the land. And this is make many broken inside you. Because you know that, yani, as we are said that we are from the soil and we are part of the nature, you know. And when I go to the border to see the sand, the soil, yani, I smell the air of Palestine. You know, this is yani, really in this part, I feeling that I am there. Yani, I didn't feel that yani, the border can present my feeling or present my what I say, yani, that there is something. No. Yani, I feel that my soul can go and there and feeling and dance and breathe and see the light. You know, this is yani, this is what all the time I feel this. You know, yani, I feel that I am my roots there, and I am part of this nature from the tree and the soil. I am the part of this area.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I remember when you told me about this film and how it started. You told me like, this filmmaker, she asked me, what can I do for Palestine? And you said, find my tree. And I mean, that stays so close to me because when you told me that, because it's like, there's so many huge, complex things and things that make us angry and things that are really horrible and systemic. And then just to say, you know, what does it mean to find this tree? Like, it's so beautiful. It feels like you said, like you're not separate from the land. Like it's as important to you as finding your own hand in a way.
Exactly. Yes. يعني, you know, this is a tree. It's يعني, it's a part of my family home. Also, it's there is يعني, like a sacred place like called Sitna Nafisi, and all women and the children coming. Also, when يعني, the children under 9 years, they يعني, put them under, when they die, they're like angels under it, you know. And also, when my father, when he leave Palestine or obliged to feed my grandfather family, my father was playing under the tree with his sister. And he said that they coming and take me and they ran to Lebanon, you know. When he speaks about these memories, you see in his eyes the child playing and like this, afraid, and like this, everything is a change. And all the time, he speaks about it, that there is no tree, tutti tree, only like it. Only this, she is the single one on all the world. We cannot find any one like it, only in Sasa. We cannot see the tutti fruit, only it has a special taste. We cannot find it on all the world, you know. The color, he told us also the color. He said, when it's down on the ground, how is the red? You see?
Yes. Yeah. It's so big. I didn't realize, like.
You see, it's area. It's all the village. You see, when you see the tree, it's the village. It's the place.
I know, like, even if you don't see, there's stones, like you were saying, the house was across from the tree, and Sarah never found the house, but almost like the stone house that we built, it's important, but it's not the same as coming from the ground and bringing fruits and holding the souls of children who were lost, being buried under the tree, and all the memories of people meeting under the tree and playing under the tree. It's like you say, it's so beautifully, like it's more home than finding this record of a house. Yeah.
It's a family tree.
Yeah.
It's our house. It's our land. It's our birds, it's everything. It is the past and the history, and it is the future and the hope. It is exist, that means we are exist.
Yes. And another part of this film that I think is amazing, this is a spoiler if you haven't seen it. So if you're watching this and you have not watched the film, maybe pause it. But I feel like it's amazing that you're looking for the film, or for the tree, and Sarah can't find it, and you're trying to, like, in some ways solve the mystery, like, where is the tree? Is it still here? And then it leads you to what's your Amu's name? Abu Jihad. And this man who's blind, he's able to see so clearly into his memories, and exactly, like, tell you the exact directions, like he's seeing the whole surrounding and the exact location of the tree. And he's lost his sight. And it just like, it just made me think of how deep the relationship goes, and why it's passed down across Palestinians, like the ways we really, it's not just fading away, it's visible, and it's in our body and in our mind. Even if you lose your sight, the way home, just like the birds, which is another beautiful part of the film, is they know home, they know how to get there, and the pigeons return home. Like there's this knowledge that goes so deeply.
Yes, really, يعني, Sarah make a very beautiful work. And Jad, also, يعني, now we are 18 years as a friend. يعني, from first time, I feel that she is my angel. All the time I told her, you are my angel. Sometimes I asking why she is coming this, and we feel that we know each other. And really, يعني, exactly, she can understand during the camera my feeling, my heart, my thinking, my family. Really, يعني, as I told, she is my angel. And يعني 15 years, really, sometimes she works so hard. And all the time, sometimes she is afraid that the tree is not exist. But all the time, my feeling, I told her, no, please, yani, don't lose this, don't, because this is mean for me. I cannot think that there is no tree. I cannot, yani. But for me, I afraid that she lose this, but la, she didn't lose to find the tree, and all the time she fight and just she distance to find my tree.
It's amazing because in the film we only see an hour and a half of a 15, 18-year relationship. I'm sure there's so much more. I know there's so much more that we don't see, and the whole time she's you're still going towards it, even though you don't know if it's there, but you knew it was there somewhere in you, like, and she's just, and then it's amazing to follow the journey and to not know.
I told her that yani, God sent Sarah as a bird to travel to my tree.
Yeah.
And all the time I told her that you are my bird to my tree.
She's your pigeon, like on the roof, like you're whistling.
Yes.
Wow. How has it been for you to watch the film? This is, first of all, Mabruk, the US premiere. It's the first time North America gets to experience this film. So that's amazing. How has it been to watch it travel like a bird itself, to all these different festivals? How does it feel?
I am so happy because we cannot travel to tell the people about our story, about our feeling, about our thinking. This film traveling to all countries and telling our story, and this is it's very important to us. People know our stories, and I think this is film telling our stories, part of our stories.
Yeah.
And I am so happy that my tree will be living and the story of the tree will live. It's like documentary also for my grandchildren. One day, some of our
Fadia froze. Yeah, so for people who don't know, Fadia is at her neighbor's house right now because the electricity is is not easy to have in Lebanon. And it could be that the electricity has cut, which it does often. And so we'll just wait and see if she can come, if it comes back. All right. So, okay, so we're back after the electricity cut. Fadia, can you, for US audiences in the US, so many people don't understand the situation for Palestinians in Lebanon and the situation in Lebanon itself. I mean, with the electricity cutting and with what it is to be a refugee, Palestinian refugee in Lebanon. Can you share with, the people here who don't know about what life is like a little bit more from your perspective?
Before Lebanese problems, we have a problem. Before now the economy in Lebanon, before this 3 years, we have a problem. This 3 years Corona and the economy in Lebanon is so badly. Before we live in the camp, in Burj al Barajni camp. It's 1 kilometer, living in it about 55,000 person. We are about Palestinian refugees, about 20,000 people. Between Syria and Syrian, about 35,000 person. The water is salty. It's make diseases in the skin and hair, like cancer. There is no pure water to drink. Before, now we haven't electricity, but before, when electricity is, as you see, Leila, the lines between electricity and water between each other, and we lose more than 135 person dying from electricity. Most of them are children. This is in the camp. Out the camp, we haven't any rights. We cannot work. We cannot come buy a house. Nothing. Any human rights we can get from Lebanese government. And now you feel, before we are suffering, and now in Lebanon there is it's so expensive. The life is so expensive, and also in the camps the situation is so badly. And you see now, today it's very sad day. A ship, people try to go to Europe during the ships, and today about 175 person die in the sea. Most of them are Palestinian from the camps.
Oh my God.
The children, the woman, you see, like I cannot see. I read, but I cannot see the pictures coming from the sea.
Wow.
Very bad.
Very bad.
Very bad. Yes.
And Allah, it's so sad. Oh.
Yes.
Fadia.
We cannot live in the land and we cannot live in the sea. Today I am writing something. I said that this following us everywhere. Where are we? The death follow us. So this hard. Is the life now in the camp. Yeah. Everything is a problem. Really, everything is not a problem. A big problems.
And you were, before the cut, or the electricity cut, you were talking about your grandchildren And in the film you mentioned, you know, the 5 generations, I think, born in the camp. And for our audiences here, you know, they don't I mean, it should be understood that refugee experience in Lebanon as Palestinian, you never enter citizenship. You stay refugee, you know, your grandchildren.
Yes, also يعني, we feel that we are like يعني, a prison, stones, and يعني, we haven't any also relation with our surrounding. يعني, you like, يعني, they make us like deserts. يعني.
Yeah.
For this, it's very important that, يعني, you know, all the time, يعني, the world forget us, the people forgetting us. يعني, we are the oldest refugee in the world. يعني, now we are 75 years. All the problems are dissolved, and all the problems, people try to do something, but we are the forgotten people. Now I think this is film make us, yani, you know, any country he go, some people, when I go to Denmark, they didn't know that we are refugees and live in the camp. They don't know anything about us.
Yeah. I mean,
also in England, the youth also, yani.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you said earlier too, like storytelling is so important because the stories are still ongoing. There's still, I mean, this is still people's lives. Palestine, you know, it's 75 years, 70 plus years of struggles, and it's still ongoing. It's still happening. And this is why, you know, this film is so important. Because it's allowing another voice, another perspective, just like many Palestinian artists, just like the work that you do with the theater, the theater of the women of the camp. And I mean, I wanted to also ask you to speak about that work because it's not as visible in the film because it was focused on this story, but also your plays. Like, can you tell us about the importance of Palestinian stories to keep, you know, the life, the attention on Palestine, but also, you know, the ways that you work with theater and writing.
You know, Leila, يعني, you can understand every word I say it because you come to the camp and see the camp and see the life in the camp. And you know, yani, we haven't any kind of art. And for me, the art is very, very important. For us, yani, you know, as a theater, when you are in the stage, you can have your word, you can dream, you can fly, you can speak. Yeah, this is the life. We cannot do it in our real life in the camp. Nothing. Yeah, there is no life in the camp, really. And you see this. Yeah, the only plants is in my kindergarten. This is the little space. You know, I am. Yani, when I said resist, yes, I resist to keep this space for the children. You know, before the woman. To have the right to children to play. It is the only space in the camp for the children to come and play, and for women to live the lives they cannot live in the real. They cannot speak about their dreams, about their stories, about their own life. It's the theater. You see, yani, also you live our experience. You see how is the girls before the stage and after the stage. Yani, maybe you can speak more than yani, Aya, because you are the same age. She is so close, yani, before, and she is in the film. I want to speak about the Aya because she is in the film.
Mm-hmm.
يعني يعني her brother was with me in their roof.
Yes, I thought I knew that roof. I thought that
Yes.
was their roof.
And really, she didn't do anything. She was so shy, and she like yani, some person hide and see what we are doing. And you see, this is yani,
She was there.
and
She wasn't on camera, but she was like on the roof with you. Yeah.
yani, but yani, she hide the wall and she see how is what we are doing, and she is so shy. And I coming to her and asked her, what is your name and you like to work, and you see now how is she in the kindergarten, in the theater.
Wow.
Yani,
Wow. She talks about the moment that you two met and that you asked her to come work as being so life-changing. And that was the moment off camera that day.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow, that is so beautiful. I mean, that's like, it's so clear, you know, sometimes as artists, we think like, you know, what are we doing? Sometimes it's like, feels like you want your art to change things that you are angry about or frustrated, or to change yourself. And then you can see these moments, especially in your work, in the theater, in the camp, in the school, where theater has allowed so many women to really strengthen their voice and their presence and their body and their bravery. And I mean, it was so amazing to see you all perform in Denmark on tour, and these women who've lived their whole lives in the camp and never went on a plane were suddenly on tour in Denmark and getting to experience a whole new life, and like, or I mean, just a different reality that other people experience in other countries. So yeah, just wanted to hear about your perspective of seeing the play in Denmark.
Yes, yani, you know, really, yani, maybe, as you say, yani, maybe it's, yani, as you see, for example, some women in our theater, they cannot travel. This is the first time, yani, some are 60 years, and this is the first time they be in the aeroplane. Also, before I want to speak, maybe it's very important to say about this experience, because I want to explain the feeling. You know, when Sophie, she is coming, and also, yani, Sophie is true. She is like my daughter, but also she is like, we are friends. Yani, I think that relationships are very important in my life. And Jad, yani. She is coming, and 9 months she is sleeping in my home, and we go to with each other to shopping, we go to the work, and we beginning to yani, she likes the theater, I like the theater, we beginning to work. And all the time, yani, after 5 years she is coming, she was so happy that there is you know about this, about a very big yani, surprise for the girls. We are sitting, she told me that, yes, we want to go to Denmark with the theater. Yes, now, but please don't tell them anything. I want to tell them, yes. Okay. She sitting with the girls, and she told them, yes, we do it. We want to travel to Denmark. The girls, the woman, no sign like this. Not happy, not sad, nothing. She feel that there is something wrong. She asked me, Fadia, please, I want to speak with you. We go inside my room, and she told me, I say something wrong. I said, why? She said, they didn't do anything, not happy, not sad, not shout, nothing. I told her, come to ask them why they didn't do any sign. when she asked them, they said, because we will not travel. Why now? We are happy and we are a dream, and we know that we will not travel.
Yeah.
You see,
They couldn't believe that it would be. So don't get your hopes up.
Yes, all the time. And you was in her wedding when she said we are the travel. You see how they cry, they are shout, but still afraid. They still afraid. And they told me, maybe if we are in the airplane, the police coming and let us down.
Wow. It's just like you have to hold your heart so protected because you just don't want to. And then, but then they went. And for people who don't know, Sophie Barclay is the co-creator of the theater. She's from Denmark. She lives in Lebanon now, and her and Fadia together are an amazing pair, amazing pair. And so, yeah, I mean, there's so many more stories like when you're in Denmark and you saw the cow.
You can speak about Denmark. Now this is the part, another part you can speak about it, because you see how is when we go to the student and dance and make like, you know.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful day. This is a special day.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to remember how arts, how performance, how film, how storytelling is just such a powerful form of resistance and of connection and conversation. And again, I'm just so thankful that you can come to my home in Minnesota, that you can be part of our community here next week for a little while, that you get to fly here. And I'm going to feel you like in my home and in my city, and that you are going to fly here. And I'm so happy that my community here will get to witness this film, and you and Sarah's work, and you as, you know, just such a force and such an amazing person. And you say so much with your eyes, with your words, with who you are. Yeah.
Thank you. And really, you are a special Palestinian lady. And you know, where we are, we have our roots. Our roots all the time. You see, and you are from America. When you are the camp with the children, with the woman, we feel that it's we still these moments like we live in our homeland. And you feel this. You feel how is the love surrounding us, the food, the dancing. We forget everything surrounding us, and we be in this moment feeling that our hearts is our homeland.
Wow. Fadia, you're a poet. Thank you for this incredible conversation. Thank you, Leila, for conducting it so beautifully. And I love the friendship that came through in the moving conversation. Appreciate you both. Audiences, as Leila said, the film is available virtually throughout our festival, and will screen in person in Minneapolis on Thursday, September 29th at 4 p.m. Please see this incredible film. And thank you so much, Leila and Fadia.
Thank you so much. And you know, there is a joke. We said all the time, Palestinians are crying. If we are happy, we are crying. If we are sad, we are crying. And I want to thank everyone coming to see my film. Thanks, and thanks for you.
Thank you. It's a place to leave it.